later. So we are going to play some Diablo Hellfire, guys. For any of you watching. Sorry, I had to turn that down and it auto-skipped stuff from hitting a button. My volume was a little loud on my headphones. Alright guys, welcome everybody, Death Scrubbar here. I know I just said that twice already, but I'm probably putting this on YouTube and this is where it'll start. Anyway, thanks for coming and watching, and anyone who wants to chat in chat, I will be watching chat. Now we've got Death as the name of the character we are going to be playing here. I haven't played it at all, except for the fact of making sure I had specific quests. So, now we're going to load. And let me... Alright, so we are here outside of town. Alright, so we're gonna talk to Farnham, I think. Farnham the drunk.
Can a fellow drink in peace? I like Pepper. He really tries, you know. Listen here, you should make sure you get to know him. Good fellow like that with people always wanting help. Hey, I guess I'd be kind of like you, hero.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm kind of a Diablo 1 fanatic. So we can tell we've got poisoned water supply quest here by the color of the water. And we know the first person we're supposed to talk to is Ogden, the tavern owner here. So
thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves. Or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
What ails you, my friend?
What ails you, my friend? So this is Diablo Hellfire, so you will notice a difference if you go up here and in two or three other spots. So here's one difference.
I need something done, but I couldn't impose on a perfect stranger. Perhaps after you've been here a while, I might feel more comfortable asking a favor.
So, this was the only expansion to Diablo, the original Diablo, and this expansion, being the only expansion, was made by Sierra, and it was not made by Blizzard. It was only made by Sierra, which I think was the original publisher.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus, he led us down here to find the lost prince. The bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this Butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
I've played this way too many times. So we are going to go into the first level of the church here, guys.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
And we're just gonna hit. Here we've got some fallen. Gonna want our map to be on. Now, you don't pick up any life along the way as you go through this game, so you've got to, you know, kill the monsters, get some potions, make sure you have enough potions to survive. And your items will get damaged, so you've got to repair them. You want to make sure you have enough gold for everything. You want to make sure you clear out everything, because you don't want monsters sneaking up on you, and you don't want to not get that EXP. EXP is important. So, for those of you who don't know, this, like I said, is the only expansion that ever came out for the original Diablo game. And for those of you who've never played the original Diablo game, so the original Diablo, which mostly is what you're seeing right now, did not have any set anything except for a few things in town. So a few things in town were set, like how the town is set up, but most of the quests you get that are main quests, quote unquote, main quests, they're not set. In fact, you don't get a whole lot of quests in this game. You'll find some as you go along, but you don't find a ton of them. And everything is so random in this game, and I love that part about it. So we know that there's a healing well right there, and I could use it, but I might not right now. So in our inventory right now, we've got a club that does 1 to 6 damage, a short sword that we're using that does 2 to 6 damage, our buckler with 3 armor, and this short sword which has not been identified. Now, one thing I like about this game is you don't know what you're going to get when you identify an item at all. You could get a cursed item, in fact. And that's why the save before you do anything else was always something you wanted to do. Because it's quite possible that that shrine you see over there is going to kill you. So now we got a scroll, and scrolls are used to cast spells off of, but you have to be a certain level usually, or have a certain magic level, I believe, to cast a spell. So, healing. And you will have traps and everything. I'm sure some of you are familiar with trapped stuff from Diablo 2, or I don't even remember if Diablo 3 has trapped chests anymore. Chests and barrels you can find stuff in this game. Alright. So that's just the bookcase, so we're not going to worry about saving it before the bookcase. Alright, so now we've leveled up. And so you can see what... Sec. Gotta kill some more stuff so it doesn't come at me. Alright, so we're gonna level up here. So, we're playing a main... class that's mainly based off attack, dex, and everything. So we want to up our strength, up our dex, up our vitality. We're gonna up our magic, and then we're gonna up our strength. And now you do have a limit to how many skill points you'll get in this game. So you want to keep that. That's nice. This was not in the original game. So that's something I just saw that's from the expansion stuff. The oil there. Now you can also find books in the game, and books will teach you a spell. And once you've been taught the spell, you can cast it using your mana. So we have a book of Charged Bolt there, and a book of Healing. And you do have to be a certain level to read the book, and you can improve the spell by reading more books of it. So, see, I need 25 magic to read one of them, and I need 17 for the other. So I can't read any of those right now, and I can't do the Scroll of Inferno because I don't have enough magic. And if you want to use a lot of magic and use a weapon really well with this, you know, you can do so. The choice is yours, which is a nice thing about this game. Once you become a big BA character that really can kill most everything when you, as soon as you're done with a certain amount of strength. Oh, runes. Those were never in the original game, so the rune is something new. And I know this is by no means new, but it's new to me. I never played the Hellfire expansion before, so. Sets a fire trap. Interesting. So I could switch out my dagger for a saber and get potentially more damage, more potential damage. But the thing is, I don't want to. I like definite damage more than I do potential damage. It's the 2d6 is better than 1d12 kind of idea. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because 2d6 it does the same max damage, but the minimum damage is different. There's also other odds and stuff with that, I'm sure, but I don't know all the math to everything like that. There's a trap. We've got all these creepy crawlies around here we're gonna take out. And I don't know how long I'm gonna stream, guys, how long I'm gonna record this. So, you know, we're just gonna play maybe 1 or 2 levels down here, and then, because there's 16 levels to it, and by levels I mean dungeon floors. And, so I just want to try and get the first one cleared on this. Then I might, you know, get off for a while. But for now, I want to clear out this first dungeon floor. Like I said, we don't want to miss anything. We want the EXP, we want the items, the life, etc. Then I want to show you shrines later, but we have to get to one. Alright, we're running out of room here.
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
So thankfully we're close enough to town that we can head back to it and sell some of our stuff off. First, I just wanna... Alright. Now we've leveled up. Alright, so... just so you guys know, strength will help with your damage and your percentage of chance to hit. Dexterity helps with your armor class, and I also think it helps with your percentage to hit some. Vitality helps with your health, and maybe your armor class, I can't remember. And then mana is helped by magic, so... you can also get resists, I think, from it, but... now we're just gonna go up to town. Sell some stuff off, and identify some items. Now, you can, I believe, find some identification stuff. Or maybe not. Maybe not.
Your death will
be avenged. Anyway. Now, usually you can only walk very slow on the original game, but they made it here where you can walk quicker.
What can I do for you?
While in town. So we are going to sell the club, the mace, saber, short bow, saber, and we're going to keep the oil. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to save the game, and then we're going to go to Deckard
Hello,
Cain.
my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Identify an item. Short sword. Yes. So -5 to vitality. So we don't want that item. So now what we're going to do is say goodbye. Menu. Load game. And you see what we just did there. It's got a guaranteed thing right now to be a -5 vitality
what can I do for you?
So now what we're going to do is we're going to sell this because it will be worth a lot less if it's been identified and gives -5 vitality. It's a little trick to keeping your money good in this game. So another thing we're going to want to do, since things don't go away, anything you leave will be left there and stay there. We're going to take these and just toss them so that they don't take up our inventory space. We're also going to take these mana potions, which we really don't need right now. Alright, so yeah, we have a scroll of Identify and a scroll of Healing there. Let's actually switch these around. And so we're gonna go to...
I'm glad I caught up to you in time. Our wells have become brackish and stagnant, and some of the townspeople have become ill drinking from them. Our reserves of fresh water are quickly running dry. I believe that there is a passage that leads to the springs that serve our town. Please find what has caused this calamity, or we all will surely perish. What ails you, my friend?
I don't hear that one as much as I do the butcher's thing, so... Anyway, we're going to... Okay, we can't... I couldn't remember if we could sell to him or not. I do like that it goes very fast. Now, this is something that's new, and I don't know what that is exactly. It looks like a crater of some sort. Probably has to do with some kind of quest. So now we're gonna...
I sense a soul in search of
go to
answers.
Adria. And we're gonna sell our mana potions, actually. And then we're gonna leave. Now we're gonna talk to the guy about the cows.
I need something done, but I couldn't impose.
So obviously he still isn't willing to let us do anything about it yet. I'm sure I've got to complete at least one quest.
Your death will be avenged.
I love this game, guys. I just love this game. So now we've got to slowly walk our way back. You do walk slower while in the dungeon. Now for a little interesting lesson for some of you guys who've never played Diablo before. Let's see, where's our items? Here's the bow. Alright. So originally this game was going to be made with claymation. That was until Blizzard decided that it needed to be in 3D. So this was going to be a claymated game. And when you killed a monster, the clay just like all rolled up into a ball and died. Ripped away. Which I think sounds interesting enough. I wouldn't mind seeing a game with a claymation kind of art style. Now, most of the rooms and everything were still going to be computer generated. It was mostly just the characters and monsters and stuff. that we're going to be claymated. Alright, so usually you've got one good bad guy or two in here. In rooms like this, protecting whatever it is that's in it. So we have another book, Book of Charged Bolt. It's 25 magic. So we can't use that right now. And we're gonna... I have no doubt soon enough we'll get another level, as we're fighting a good bit of creatures here, and with how easily oil of accuracy. That's interesting. Wonder what that does. Permanently increases a weapon's chance to hit. That's awesome. So, I'm gonna need to save that for something nice. I want to put it on this, you know? Just drank a potion. Let's get these zombies and skeletors, whatnot, everything taken out. I like to fight in the doorway here, because they have to come to me and I can fight them one at a time. Alright, so we don't have anything in here. So this way had nothing but monsters, really. So we're gonna head back the other direction. And what we're really looking for, guys, is the way down. But what I want to find first is the way to the shrine. Right. Now, doors can be blocked by bodies. So, if you play this game, remember that, because you can close a door and a monster not really get through easily, because the door's shut. Now, I believe bosses like Diablo can open doors and stuff, and the Butcher and whatnot. So, you know, those kind of things will open the door themselves and find the way to get to you, but keeping a door blocked is a good way to keep it from being shut. Not that anything will shut it on you, but keep you from shutting it on other things. Now we have a treasure room. It's a room full of gold. It's not a ton of gold, but it certainly does increase later on down the game when you find those rooms. The farther down you go, the more you find. Now, I don't know how many more things there are in Hellfire than there were in the original game, so we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so... go. Road. Alright, so that's the way down. Alright. Got a room. With all these barrels, and probably half of them are explosive. Most of them are probably trapped. But some of them have gold. Up. Staff of Charged Bolt. Now, staffs are primarily used by your caster types. I'm using a warrior kind of guy, so it's not quite as easy. Do stuff like that with him. Okay, so we're just gonna go around. We definitely want to make sure we clear out everything on this level, guys. I should know that the butcher should be on level 2, and we want to be at least level 5 when we get to him. So. Just gonna go down this way, go down that way, see where it leads. Got a little Skeletor there. Gold. Scavengers. Barrel room. Alright. Now, that is done. This way, up here, that way. I'm pretty sure the way into that room is this way now that I think about it. Yeah, there it is. I didn't notice the door earlier, so we got some scavengers to kill here. Alright. And you definitely don't want to die in this game, because that's going to lead you to being stuck to where you last were. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save the game, and this is a shrine. So it's a spiritual shrine, we're going to go up to it. Riches abound when least expected. Now that is a good shrine to find. It gives you, you'll find more money with it, so.
I can't carry anymore.
Uh-oh. See, it gives you more money. Riches abound when least expected. Oh, yeah. One sec. Load game. We're gonna return. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do now that we know it's riches abound when least expected. We're gonna... And I'm gonna show you why. Daddy weave, there's not enough room to throw that mana potion out. And then we're gonna throw our gold out. And this is why. Riches abound when least expected. That's why. So you gotta kind of know what some of these mean. And you definitely want to save before using one so that you can get the best you can out of it. But I mean, I've made over 300 gold in this one shrine here. 375. And then you add in what I already had, and that gives me 1,300 something, plus there's all these items I've yet to pick back up that I'm going to sell some of. Right. Now we got a book of charged gold, and we're gonna go back up to town. So now we're gonna go back up to town, And then after we get to town, we're going to check some stuff. Maybe we call it quits, maybe not. We may just cut it up for the YouTube thing here in a second. So. One sec, guys. Alright guys, my brother was asking a question about how to do stuff with Skylanders. And they are his Skylanders, not mine, but not that there's anything bad with Skylanders. Oh, we're gonna get our books out here. We're not gonna be using those soon. And we don't want to use that oil on accident. Much anything else we have here except our scroll of identify and maybe our fire trap.
Whoa,
so
what can I do
sell
for you?
some of our stuff. Short bow, yes. Saber, yes. Alright. There, Ian's falling asleep. Alright, leave the shop. Now we're going to go over to Adriana, sell the mana potions.
I sense a soul
Adria.
in search of answers.
And the Staff of Charged Bolt. Alright, so now we are done. And we're just going to go back into town. Alrighty. So, to any of you watching here on YouTube, I would like to thank you for watching. This was me going through level 1 of Diablo Hellfire, and we will be doing the rest of this on the YouTubes and the Twitches and everything, so you can watch it live later on when I do more streaming. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube, and if you are on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, favorite, share, and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, please. To all you nerds out there, to all you gamers, and to all you geeks, keep doing what you do. This is Death Crowbar signing